Hello, everybody. Today is Saturday, January the 18th, 2025, and we are back for another episode of Bricks and Beyond, a creator showcase series. For those of you that may be joining for the very first time, Bricks and Beyond is a showcase series that highlights members of the LEGO community. Each episode gives you a personalized look into the person behind the account. Tonight's guest comes from the Gem State, which is also the state that grows more potatoes than any other state in the United States. She is a wife, a mother, and a lover of Lego. You may know her on Instagram as American Bricker, or you may simply know her as Mackenzie. So let me wait for Mackenzie to get on here. She is in here. Just waiting for her to request. There we go. For joining, everybody. Appreciate you being here.
Oh man.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are
Good.
you?
Did I do all that right?
Oh
The
yeah.
Gem State,
Yeah,
the most potatoes.
absolutely. Most potatoes. That's like the best thing ever.
It's funny because one of the very first times we ever interacted was in a live together. Well, you joined a live that I was
Yeah.
on, and potatoes was actually a topic that was under discussion, and that and your love for ranch dressing.
Yeah, I do. I do love ranch. I can't lie.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know too many people that don't like it, other than my son, who refuses to even smell it. So
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. Questions my no.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
them.
Well, my 5-year-old told me, he said, "Thank you. Is this homemade?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "It's so good, Mom." It's like, all right, thank you.
Well, so how are you today? How's your weekend going?
Fantastic. We needed to
Good.
get out of the house. It's a little cold here. We needed to get out, and I was thinking of driving to some hot springs and stuff like
Sure.
that. And then we ended up getting invited to somebody has a pool and a hot tub indoors.
Oh, nice. Oh,
So
nice. Okay.
our boys, that's good enough for them. And so I was like, all right, yeah, when we have more time. And I wanted to make sure I was back for this. So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
let's not go on any crazy adventures.
Sure.
But we took some glow golfing, like mini golfing.
Nice. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
got some pizzas for dinner. It was a nice day.
That
So
sounds pretty fantastic. Now, by hot springs, I'm assuming you mean like legit outside hot springs, correct?
yeah,
Okay.
yes. We have like 4 local places that you can go and pay
Okay.
and sit in a hot tub. And it's like, no, I want to go into the wilderness. So we oftentimes drive out into, it's called Boise National Forest.
Okay.
And we drive out, and you have to hike a little bit sometimes.
Sure.
But I'm talking like, this is like in the river. You walk down to a
Oh,
river,
yeah. Okay.
and it's like 106 degrees.
Oh, wow.
So
Well,
that's
that
what you
sounds. Yeah. Oh, man. I don't have anything like that in Pittsburgh. So everybody keeps asking me about Pittsburgh. I don't know. You know, you guys have all the good stuff out your way. So
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. So
so you said what's like the weather out your way now? Is it snowy or
uh,
just cold?
it's got snow on the ground. It's just freezing. We were driving home, and it said -4
Ooh.
outside.
Ooh.
So it doesn't get like
Okay.
that during the day,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it is definitely cold at night when it
Okay.
gets dark. So
Now,
it's cooler.
okay. So where you live, are there like a lot of mountain elevations, or is it just
Oh, that's a good question. Within an hour to 2 hours, we
okay?
have Yellowstone really
Oh,
close
yeah.
by.
Okay.
And so you head that way, and you've got the Teton Mountains, the Great Tetons, the Grand Tetons. And then I'm trying to think, east of here, we have some small mountains that we like to ski and snowboard
Yeah,
on.
sure.
Very small. So like our mountains are like, you can hike them in 2 hours and come back down,
Okay.
and you're like, you're
Yeah.
done. So
Yeah. Well, that's nice. You have, I know I talked about this with Mandy last week, that nature factor. It's just nice to be able to get away.
yeah,
And you know, when you live in a city or even close to a city, there's just like nowhere to go. And so you guys can just escape and like literally be, free. So
yeah,
it's nice.
that's true. That's true.
So enjoy it because Nowadays, you never know, how much land there is going to be until you get another Walmart or something around you.
Yeah.
Um, what's going on for tomorrow or the rest of the week? Anything special planned?
Ooh, tomorrow just dinner with family. We're doing like this big thing where everybody brings a soup, and we're just
Okay.
gonna have like a, what people call like a potluck or something like
Yeah,
that, a s'more. Or like we'll probably have like 25 to 30 people. It's kind of extended
nice.
family, not
Okay.
just my siblings.
Yeah, sure.
But so we'll do that for dinner. We'll go to church. I'm trying to think what else. We have a long day. It's like Sunday is a very long day with little kids.
Yep.
But I'm like, oh, we're just probably gonna play
Nice.
Mario on the Nintendo Switch,
Yes.
and then we'll probably build Legos. I will at least.
Sounds good to
I
me.
got projects, so, yeah, I know. Sunday's actually a pretty good day. You have so much time to just like you're like, oh, I don't have work, I don't have school, stuff like that, and you just sit down and
Yeah.
it's relaxing.
Now, I'm assuming, are your kids off Monday? Or
They are off Monday. I forgot
yeah,
what day it was. Yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah,
are
yeah.
off Monday. So I'll probably be doing the same thing on
Yeah,
Monday too.
yeah. Now, to backtrack real quick, so with the soups, I'm assuming there's going to be a potato soup.
Okay, so that's what I've been trying to figure out. I've got a lot of whipping cream,
Okay.
and a bunch of people, I guess, are bringing soups with chicken in them,
Okay.
chicken and wild rice. Oh, what's the other one? White chicken chili. And so my sister texts me
Ooh,
and she's like, please bring something with hamburger. And I'm like, hamburger? I'm like, so I might do a potato soup, but
that
just do
sounds good.
potato bacon chives,
Ooh.
like a creamy
Oh
bacon chive
gosh, you're
soup.
killing me here. Jeez, gosh, I'm a sucker for potato soups. That's
They're
that's one of
actually
my favorites. So
really good.
yeah,
Yeah. So I'm like, that actually sounds really
yep,
good. And then I just say, just
yep,
do bacon. So
yep. Nothing beats potatoes and bacon. I mean, there you go. So
yeah. Yeah. So I might do that. Thank you for saying potatoes because I did not
yeah,
have that in my mind. And I was like,
yeah.
oh,
Well, it's funny when you live somewhere, you probably don't really even think about
yeah.
it. And like me over here, I'm researching. I'm like potatoes. That's what you
Yeah.
guys do. So,
We joke about like never having to buy potatoes because I have an uncle who's a potato
oh,
farmer.
nice.
And so,
Okay.
like, if I buy potatoes at the store, my aunt's like, what are you doing? Like, we literally have a box for you. Why are you buying potatoes? I'm like, oh, I forgot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Yep. No, I get it. All right. So obviously, you are a fan of Lego, so we will get into that in a little bit here. But I want people to get to know you. So
yeah.
um, we'll start out with some of the basics here. So obviously, as I said, you are living in Idaho now. Is that where you were born and raised?
No, I was born and raised in Federal Way, Washington.
Okay.
So, Seattle, it's about a half an hour south of Seattle.
Okay.
So, kind of I guess you'd call it the suburban area, close to the city, but not out in the boonies.
Sure.
Just like a little cul-de-sac neighborhood.
Okay.
I was actually up until I was 12, I was in the same house, and then 12 till I left for college, same
Okay.
house. So
Now,
yeah.
so do your parents, do they still live there?
So ironically enough, they live there, and they are moving here in about 3 or 4 months,
Oh, okay.
probably. Yeah,
Nice.
my dad
Okay.
just retired. He worked for Boeing, and
Oh, nice.
so
Okay.
now that he's done, they're like, "We're leaving. We are getting out of
Yeah.
here." They want
Yeah.
out of
Yeah.
here. I'm so excited. My dad is like one of the best, smartest like woodworkers.
Oh, okay.
Just can do
Yeah.
everything. So I'm like, "Yeah, can you come do this? Can you help me put this in? Can you help fix this?" So I and my mom, like, they're so good with our two
Sure.
boys. So I'm like ready to have my parents out here. So
So basically, what you're saying is your dad's not retired.
yeah.
He's just changing job.
Yeah, I tell him, I'm like, if you come out here, you just need to start like selling your woodwork
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
keep working, stay busy. Don't. But
Yep.
yeah, he's always helping people.
Yeah.
Like even now that he's done with work, he is just busy taking care of other people. So he's
Hey,
really giving.
well, you know what? I've learned over the years that seems to be the key to life too, is just keep on doing,
Yeah,
and then yeah, yeah, it seems to keep people going. So good for him.
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Now, did you have or do you have any siblings?
I do. I have three.
Okay.
So I have an older brother and a younger sister that live here in Idaho with
Okay.
me, and then I have another sister who lives out in Indiana. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Out my neck of the woods.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, not too far from Indianapolis. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Now,
I don't know why they're out there, but it is
that's
way
that's what I was just going to ask you. What?
it's
What?
it's way more affordable to live for one thing. But my brother-in-law is also an anesthesiologist assistant, so he did school out in like Wisconsin area,
Okay.
and they found a good home, a good
Sure.
job, a great community. So they really like it there. And I mean, gives me an excuse to go out there
Yeah.
and visit.
You
So
know what is very close to Indiana? Brick World Chicago.
Chicago, I know. If I can, I know. If I can convince my husband, or maybe I'll just surprise him. If I can figure out how to get us to Chicago, I know he wouldn't be able. I just think it'd be too hard to like travel with our displays,
Yeah.
like if we
Yeah.
had a display there. But I'd still love to just be there. And so I'm like, man, if I could get. I used to live in Chicago,
Oh, really?
so
Okay.
yeah, back in 2011, I had an internship. I was a nanny, like so. I lived there for a few months, and every time we fly somewhere, we happen to stop in Chicago, but we're just like, oh, we don't want to leave the airport on our layover.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Sure.
let's just stay here. And so my husband has never been, and so
Okay.
my goal, sometime in this life, is to get back to Chicago and take my husband and show him all the sites. I mean, I went to like every museum and really good restaurants and stuff like that. So I'm like, let's go back and I'll just show you
Yeah.
everything. So if
Yeah.
I
Well,
can make it happen. It's in June, right?
it is. Yes. Yep.
See, and they've got Mock Fest in Salt Lake in June.
Okay.
There's something else. It's like 3 weeks in a row. I think they have something called Retro X,
Okay.
and it's just it's crazy.
Well,
So
unfortunately, if you can see, we kind of ruined the surprise there. So we can just pretend like this conversation didn't happen. Can you see the comments?
yeah, I
Okay.
can.
Yeah.
What surprise did I ruin? Oh, because
This
all right, whatever.
conversation never
Okay,
happened.
you know what, Keith? I can't surprise my husband anyways. You know what's funny is it's like I saw his name come on the live, but I wasn't like, I was just like, oh, maybe he has it on in the background.
Yeah.
Is he
Yeah.
really gonna watch this
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
still,
we were
you know,
talking about next year. That's we were
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about going next year.
And
Yeah.
now, yep, I'm not definitely not gonna take my husband to that this year. So
You know what? That could have just ruined it for him because maybe you're going to go by yourself.
he's like, fine, you just go by
Yeah.
yourself. All right, I will take a free weekend.
That's funny. All right. So, with your siblings, so we'll get into them with Lego
Yeah.
later on. But did you guys have anything either when you were little or now that you guys enjoy doing together?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, we get together all the time now as adults and we play
Yeah.
games. We love card games.
Yep.
Like we can sit around a table for hours at nighttime and laugh, and sometimes we'll talk about our childhoods and stuff like that. When we were kids, I remember even pictures. My mom had like the original Duplo bucket, so it was kind of like a tall, square bucket with a handle.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, my sister just hopped on. She said,
Oh,
"Playing
yeah. Okay.
games."
Yep.
For sure, 100%.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
we didn't have tablets and stuff like that, and every
Yeah.
once in a while we would have cable, but we didn't always.
Sure.
So like sometimes we'd watch TV. We eventually got into like Nintendo 64, but I mean that wasn't the staple. I think the staple was definitely playing outside, jumping on the tramp. We would
Yep.
use the old video
Yep.
camera and make really
Sure.
dumb movies.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Have you come across
But
those movies?
yes,
No, aren't they epic when you watch them?
I kind of want to burn them. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing to burn because now they're on a DVD, and it's not because of my siblings, it's because of me. I watch them and I'm like, oh my gosh, did I really just say or do that? And I'm like, I don't know if I can bring myself to show my kids.
Well,
'Cause,
now I know who your sister is. We're gonna.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I do remember my brother and I, because we were a little bit closer in age. We started off with the Duplo bucket. We used those toys a ton, and then he got a bucket of Legos. I got a bucket of Legos. Not really like they were just random. They weren't even like the sets that
Yeah.
I had, and we would sometimes play with those if I shared, because I was not a very good sharer. So yeah, I'll be honest.
Well, hey, we all have our we all have our quirks, right?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, honestly, I would say we just spent time together. Mostly probably just playing outside.
Sure. Yep.
And,
Looks like he's getting ready for a fire sale over here.
yeah. Yeah.
That's good. That's
So,
good.
yeah.
Well, so speaking of him, because he's here, so obviously, you are married and you guys have two boys, correct?
Yes.
So again, we'll get into the Lego part of that later, but I know you guys said you enjoy doing the hot springs, that kind of stuff. What else you guys like doing as a family?
Oh man. Right now with our little ones. Like last weekend, we hook up a sled behind the four-wheeler when the
Oh,
roads have
nice.
an on them.
Yep.
We call it hook bobbing,
Okay.
and everybody's like, "Where did you get that word?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I thought it
Yeah.
was local. I'm not sure." But I'll take my boys and we'll go just around the neighborhood on
Oh,
the sled behind the
cool.
four-wheeler.
Sure.
We've only gone sledding once this winter.
Okay.
There's been enough snow, but
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm
Yeah.
such a homebody. And my boys, I would say I'm not as much of a homebody as my boys and my husband,
Okay.
but they like to be
Yeah.
home. So
I don't blame you. Yeah.
I'm trying to think, if we're not home and they're not, playing in their rooms or building Legos, stuff like that, because they do. My 5-year-old will do that a lot. I feel like we go to some of the indoor places around town.
Okay.
They have a place called Kids Town,
Okay.
and it's indoor, and they have like a big pirate
Oh,
ship and a big dinosaur
cool.
slide.
Okay.
So they can just go and play for a couple
Yeah.
hours, and it's like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah. Get
is
the
nice.
rust off. Yeah.
Yeah, especially in the winter.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I'm trying to think of what else we like to do. They would go to the McDonald's play place every day if they could. So
Hey, yeah. Well, that's what we did. When we grew up. That
yeah,
parents left us there for a couple hours. That's
yeah. So
enough.
I'm like, my 5-year-old's usually in school in the afternoon. He's in kindergarten,
Okay.
so it's usually me, 2-year-old, and sometimes my 2-year-old will just go off by himself, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna work on some Lego rooms,
Sure.
or I'm gonna do this, or work, stuff like that. And sometimes he wants to just be with me, and so sometimes I'm not even sure what we do. I'm just
Yeah.
like, okay, we've got 3 hours while he's at school.
Yep.
But usually when it gets to the weekend, we like to have a family movie night.
Sure.
Friday or Saturday night, we'll say, let's go watch a movie. We'll watch a movie, and I'm trying to think of what else. But yeah, we just, in the winter it is tricky, but I feel like we always find something to do.
Yeah. Now,
So
have your boys seen the any of the Lego movies yet, or are you waiting to show them those?
no, I mean, our favorite is Lego Batman,
Oh,
hands down.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
the best Lego movie. I mean, I should have like a thing like, what does it say? Change my mind. Like,
Yeah.
Lego
Yeah.
Batman, best
Yep.
Lego movie. They've watched some of the Ninjago ones. What's the other one? We've definitely watched the Lego movie. We watched Lego movie 2.
Okay.
And we weren't as big of fans, but
Okay.
I mean, most of the time, if I just say like, hey, we can watch a movie, my boys are pretty excited. Because
Yeah.
we've tried to, since Christmas, we've tried to withdraw some of the screen time.
I know. Yeah, I know. It's hard, but that's how the world works now. Everything's on the screen, so it's kind of hard to it's hard to tell a kid not to do something when you're sitting there and doing it yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, I have felt so hypocritical at times, just like being on my phone and being like, hey, get off the screen.
Yeah.
No more, time. I'm literally scrolling Instagram, like, oh,
yeah, but you're for a bigger purpose, right?
yes,
So,
right.
Sometimes that's how we flip it in our minds, So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
I get it. I get it completely. So I do have something. I'm going to say that to the end, though. I'm going to give your husband a little bit of spotlight here, even though because I just learned something new. So we'll give him a little bit at the end there because this is about you first. So, all right. So let's get into the Lego stuff here. So we'll chat you and Lego. So we're gonna go back again. I know we touched on it a little bit. So when you were little, so you did have Lego when you were a child, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I believe you had a couple sets or a set that you may still have in your possession.
So I actually have 2 of them. The 2 first sets that I ever got, I have in my possession. I probably have, now that I think about it, minus a few Harry Potter sets, I still have the original sets from when I was a kid. I don't think I ever got rid of it.
Yeah.
And so some storage right now, they still need to come out onto the shelf.
Sure.
Back in 1995, it was Christmas. My parents got me, okay, so I'll hold it up here. So this is...
oh, nice. Yep.
What's funny is every time I pick it up, I'm like, wait, what was the name again? It's like Skull Island, Skull Bay. Or Secret Cove or something like that. Because you've got
that's
the skeleton
really cool.
here that opens up. Like this, I mean, I love pirates, so I'm surprised there's not more pirate sets. But back in 1995, I was, I'm trying to think. 1996. Wow, I keep getting the year wrong.
That's right.
I was 5.
I don't have fact checkers, so you're
right.
good.
I know somebody's gonna come on here and be like, I'm pretty sure it was 19. But yeah, I was in Montana with my dad's family. That's where he was raised, was in Montana.
Okay.
I was there with my uncles and my aunts, and I got this set. My uncle sat down. He like laid down on the floor and helped me build this whole thing. So it was
Oh,
like
nice.
very
Yeah,
nostalgic.
yeah. Yep.
Like I have that memory ingrained in my brain.
Sure.
But yeah, and so like it's like one of my favorite sets. And like the original, they don't say much about this, but like the Lego
Oh,
house,
yeah. Yep.
the big. I
That's
want
him.
the big. Wiley Bricks knows what it is because he had a friend get him one in Billund,
I
Denmark. So
actually
I'm a
just
little
picked one
bit
up
jealous.
myself. So, yep.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. Yep. Sitting right on my shelf over
That's
there.
awesome. So I think that's like one of my favorite minifigs of all time. Is
It
just
is.
Redbeard.
Well,
Like
yeah, and you have, well, I mean, obviously I got this too, so I got
you can, yeah, you can relate.
but yeah, no, I mean that's really neat that you have like a specific memory
Yeah.
and you have the set that memory comes from. And it's so interesting how many people I've talked to that had these childhood sets and they left them with mom and dad.
Oh,
Um, or they got put into a storage unit and something
yeah.
happened to the storage unit, and so like all their childhood stuff's gone. And so how did like what made you keep that? Or did your mom and dad have it and you just got
Um,
it back?
my mom and dad knew I was so overprotective. Like I
Okay.
remember, so I left on a mission for my church when I was like 21,
Okay.
and I wasn't too bad at the time, but I just like you're so I'm so possessive of my things, and
Okay.
so it was like okay, everything that I have in these boxes, they better be here when I get back.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
obviously they were. Like my
Okay.
parents, fair enough, So when I came home, then I had gone to college. They had been in my parents' house throughout college. And luckily, my parents are not like hoarders.
Sure.
So when I got married, even before that, maybe they were like, "Here's all your stuff. You
Oh,
can take it."
nice. Yeah.
So
Yep.
they were good parents, and they were like, "Here's all your Legos. Take them." And so I'm thinking, "Oh, thank you, mom and dad," because if it had been the other way, maybe by the time I was 23, 25, I might have been like, "Oh, I don't really need those anymore. Like you can keep
Yeah.
them." But I was like, "No, I'm keeping these." So I got them all, and when I married my husband and we moved into our first apartment, he had just a couple bags. He was a Technic guy, so I was like,
Oh,
"What?
okay.
What are these?"
Yeah.
And I mean, it was bags of wheels and bags of Technic pieces, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was just, I have never seen this. And he was like, "Well, I was into Lego Technic," and I'm like, he's a way 80s, like early 80s kid.
Gotcha.
So
Okay. Yep.
I think that there was different times of different
Yep.
things.
Yep.
And so it's cool to have that in the collection though, because he's super smart. So
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
like I said, I will give him a minute. So,
yeah.
now how about your siblings? Were they Lego involved? And no, not really.
My
Okay. Yeah.
brother was a little
Yeah.
bit. If I would let him, he would come in and build
Okay.
things. Like I think he had an imagination too, because he wasn't sitting there like me. I was using the instructions,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
he would just come in and build things.
Okay.
I don't think my sisters ever got into it. I could be wrong, and they could correct me, but I think my sisters were into so many different
Sure.
things. And every time somebody says like, "Oh, I'm so glad I have a daughter, so I don't have to deal with Lego." I'm like, "Excuse me,
Yeah.
like what?"
Yeah.
And so I'm like, of course I have two boys, and I was like, you could have been girls, and I still would have forced Lego down
Yeah.
your throat.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, yeah. So my sisters weren't into it as much, but it was something that I feel like as a kid I was a little bit of an introvert. I was happy being in my room by myself building
Yeah.
Lego.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you really can't go wrong with it. And as a parent, like, what bad can you say about a child using their imagination, using their hands and building
Yeah,
things? Other
yeah,
than, I mean, you can take them outside too. So technically, if they took them outside, I mean, you seriously have nothing to complain about.
right.
So as a parent, yeah, I mean, it's like the perfect hobby or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. So
I will say this because I was just reminded about it. I think my sister and my brother-in-law, they like
okay.
Lego. He has his collection when he was a
Oh,
kid,
nice.
and now they're collecting little sets. He likes Star Wars, so like when
Okay.
I go to their house, it's fun to see them do like sets together. The couple
Sure.
of my sister and stuff like that, and they've introduced it to their son. And then my nieces and nephews, my brother's kids, they love Lego. So my
Okay.
nephew is 6, and he just built by himself the big Lego semi, the one
Oh,
that's kind
yeah.
of like the
Yeah.
Costco
Yep.
one. So he just built that. They love Harry Potter, so it's fun because I love like I can talk to my siblings
Yeah.
about it, and they're not just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yep.
you're such a nerd.
Yeah.
But it's just and it's fun. I'll be with my nieces. and nephews, and it makes me really happy when they're like, "Hey, do you want to build this set with me?" And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Yes,
Well, however, I'm just warning you, there will come a year where they start getting sets that you're not getting, and
yeah,
then we're gonna see them.
yeah, 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 for sure, for sure."
Ah, that's good. All right, so then, would you say, so obviously you've had a love for Lego essentially your entire life. Did you
Yeah.
have one of the proverbial dark ages, or did you poke on through?
No, I did. I totally did. My husband, I don't know, it was like a year ago. We really got into Lego. Like we had all our Lego
Yeah,
and we had building sets. I had been buying him sets, but he's like, "Wow, you just really got back into it." And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "There was a time, and I know when it was because of the sets that I missed."
sure.
Um, I it was like probably when I went to college when I was 18.
Okay.
I didn't take Legos to college with me. I probably didn't buy a set.
Mhm.
Then I went on that church mission. And it's funny though, I bought a Spider-Man set. Like, I'm trying to think, like the Nick Fury, the
Oh
Lord of
yeah,
the Rings
yeah,
Spider.
yep,
It was probably like $11. So I
yeah,
bought it because we had time to just like have a day to
sure.
ourselves, and I like building Lego. So it's funny though because I think for 2 or 3 years I did not buy a set,
Okay.
and I look back and now I'm collecting the original Lord of the Rings
Oh
sets
gosh,
because
yeah,
the years that I was gone,
yeah, of
years
course.
original Indiana Jones, Lord
Yep.
of the Rings, I'm like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding
Man,
me. So it's like some of the
yeah,
most,
you picked bad years there. Jeez.
yeah, didn't I? And so I came back to it. My husband's like, well, now we're really into it, and I was like, yeah, but it's fun because it is one of our
Yeah,
hobbies. Like if I have downtime, especially at night when I'm not distracted, that's when I like to build
sure.
Lego because I don't have the constant interruption of
Yeah,
mom, mom, mom,
yeah,
mom.
yeah, yeah.
Or
I
if
get it.
I'm smart enough, I just get him his own set that he can build live while I build mine.
Yep,
So,
yep.
but yeah, the Dark
Well,
Age back when I was 18.
the thing to do that I keep learning that people tell me is if you want to make yourself happy with your kids, buy your kids a set that you want
Yeah,
and be
yeah.
like, hey, you would really like this, and then they'll start building it and they're like, yeah, I don't like it. I'll be like, okay, mom will finish it for
I'll
you.
take it.
So yeah.
Take one for the team.
See,
That's
I love giving advice, so I'll pour it on here for you. So.
yeah. No, that's great advice. But you might see my husband like comment like, "Don't tell her that." Like, don't. She
You know
doesn't
what?
even
There might be some
yet.
sets your husband likes.
That's true. Now, you know what? If he comes home next week with a set,
Yeah.
like which he rarely does, he is so much better at spending than I am. But if he comes home with a set next week that I know my 5-year-old doesn't like, I'll know he took your advice.
Man, I was trying to sneak that in here for him, and now okay, you caught on to it. So,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, all right. So, so I know you said you are more as of right now you are more of a set builder than any mock building, which I know you said you're working on something. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
But as far as sets, do you have any themes that you feel you gravitate towards more than others?
Ooh. Yeah. Somebody asked me that. They're like, "What's your favorite set?" And I was like, "I don't think I could pick one." And they literally
It's
were like,
hard. Yeah.
"No, what's
Yeah.
your favorite like kind of set?" And I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, sorry." Um, Looking at my shelf, I honestly think I love. I'm getting more into Lego City. I
Mhm.
think they are incredible. I think they're
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
fun. But I think my two favorites are probably ideas and icons.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree.
Icons, man, like I have built some cool sets. Like some of the car sets are really cool. And I have a few of those. I love the Nintendo line that they do,
Yep.
the Nintendo
Yep.
TV and even the Nintendo box, the question mark
Yep.
box. That one was fun to build. But thinking about it, yeah, it's definitely ideas and icons.
I agree.
And I think a lot of that sometimes is movie scenes, movie
Oh,
sets,
yeah, yeah,
like Steven Spielberg sets.
yeah. They're usually more of the adult age, or actually, I'm going to say they probably all are adult age now.
Yeah,
The 18 plus sets. I don't think there are any younger
icons
ones.
are
Yeah,
lower. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, I mean, but I think that was the purpose of them. Like that's the reason they brought them on because they're focused towards the adults because they
Right.
know we're going to spend the money.
They're like, wait, how can we sucker people into this? Like, because I had Harry Potter when I was younger, but then
Yeah,
you get to a certain age, like, okay, I've got all the Harry Potter sets. Like, what do I like? And they get me with the ideas. So
man, the Harry Potter stuff. I mean, I love what they do, and I do love how like when they remake stuff, like they always make it better. But in the same breath, it's like Do you realize how many other things in Harry Potter there could be?
Oh my,
But we
yeah.
keep redoing the same stuff over and
Let's
over again. And
let's do the castle 17 times. Let's
yeah,
do the burrow 3 times. Let's do the night bus 7 times. I'm like, guys, and this guy said you're beating a dead horse, and I was like, I have to agree with you.
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
could do some pretty awesome sets. You could do little sets,
yeah.
like so that kids can actually afford them,
Hmm.
but
I agree. Yeah,
well, less pieces and stuff like
I
that.
agree.
So
Yeah, it's it's a double-edged sword. I don't know. There
yeah,
has to be a reason why some things aren't made. Maybe, I don't know.
yeah, that's true.
But at least what they redo, at least they typically progress with the building. It's not
Yeah.
like a regression in it. So, um,
Hagrid's hut every year.
yes, we do,
I
Frank.
have the
Definitely we do.
original.
Yeah.
I have the original Hagrid's hut. I'm pretty
Oh, do
proud
you?
of that.
Yeah.
I think I sold it,
Okay.
and so I rebought it because this
Okay.
was like, oh, I was trying to make money. There was like maybe those dark years where I was like, oh, those are sitting in a box, and I definitely sold some of my Harry Potter sets, and I had to ask my husband to rebuy some of them.
Yeah. Well,
I was like, oh man.
yeah.
So yeah,
See, well, hey, you live, you learn, right?
yeah, yeah, for sure.
All right. So, same kind of question, but let's go the other way. Is there any type of theme that you prefer to stay away from?
Oh man, I think that my family can definitely answer this one. I'm so against the Friends sets.
Ah,
I remember
yeah.
talking to your son about it on one of your
Oh, yeah, yeah.
lives,
Yep.
and he's like, "Oh,
Yep.
but they're getting better." And I'm like, "It's not the sets themselves; it's the minifigs.
Yeah.
They're so
Yeah.
hideous to me
I agree.
that I'm like." And now it's bad because my 5-year-old, my parents bought us this cool Encanto set, the
Oh,
Disney
yeah.
Encanto set, and I was like, "Sweet, let's build it. This house looks awesome." And he's like, "I do not like those girly minifigs." And I was like, "Oh, it's coming off of me and going on to him." And so I'm like, "No." And so, but part of me is thinking, okay, let's build the house, and we're just gonna create our own custom minifigs for the
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yeah.
like, I'd rather have the set than not have it just because of characters. And they've kind of got a theme going where we have the Up house,
Sure.
and now we've got Encanto. So it's kind of fun to have like a Disney theme. So, but yeah, the Friends sets, their buildings are great. The minifigs are not.
I would love to know, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but because you brought it up, I would love to know, like, when you're trying to do like the all-inclusive stuff, like, so why did we have to have separate styles of minifigures? Like
Yeah,
I don't understand what the point of that
right.
was.
It almost seemed like it was aimed at girls.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. Well, it's yeah,
I'm a girl and I want the normal minifig. Like,
yeah,
just give
yeah.
me a
So
normal one.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Wicked ones too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Axio Bricks, yeah, like Wicked. And I'm like, I agree. If Wednesday, Wicked, all those sets that had really cool buildings and like stuff like that, I'm like, please don't mess up Wizard of Oz. Please don't mess up this. I'm like, you have these really, really cool sets, and to me, you're messing them up with the Friends minifigs. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
but other than the Friends minifigs, I think I just stay away from what is it? I'm trying to think of Dreams.
Oh,
I've never gotten into
okay.
Dreams.
Yeah.
I've gotten into Ninjago. I love watching the show and building the sets. My son has probably like 30 to 40 Ninjago sets.
Okay.
But I think I just haven't quite gotten into the Dreams. Every
Have
other
you
set,
have you
I
watched
feel like
them?
I can do. I
Okay.
haven't.
They're actually not bad. If you guys watched Ninjago,
Yeah,
I would assume you might actually like the
yeah.
Dream series. So
Maybe we'll try it. I'm not against trying something.
yeah,
That's like I
the
just like I see the box and I go, I have no idea what this even means.
yeah,
Like I don't want to buy that. Like
yeah. The only thing I will caution, you said 2 and 5, right?
yes.
Yeah, they're. How are they with like Halloween? Are they okay
Oh,
with?
they. My son asked today. He goes, "Can I watch Zombieland?" And
Oh,
I was like, "Absolutely
oh. Well,
not."
then watch Dreams.
But yeah, but he watched Beetlejuice with us
Okay.
this year, and both of my boys, they aren't afraid of anything.
Okay.
They see like things, some shows like the animated Jurassic Park, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
A lot of kids are kind of scared
Sure.
of. Like his friends, like this is scary. My kids just sit there and they're like, this is cool. So I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if they really like Dreams, and maybe since it's Lego, they'd like it even more.
Yeah.
So if I got
Yeah.
on board with that and actually knew what the set was for, then I would probably be totally fine purchasing it. I'm like, every other set, I can't really think of one. I don't have all the Star Wars sets. I do have quite a
Okay.
few, especially some of the USC set. I can't say it.
Yeah.
USC
UCS.
set.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
UCS.
Yep.
But other than that, I just honestly Home Alone. Like I don't have to buy all the big sets,
Yeah.
but like you can see Jaws, the shark behind
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite because I'm a movie. I should say that I love movies,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so when I see a set that correlates to a movie,
Sure.
I'm sold.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Home Alone is probably one of the best sets they've made.
it is.
Uh, I love. We were actually talking about that the other day. That when Home Alone retires, I hope they do like Christmas Vacation House.
Yeah.
Like that would
Did
be
you
an
see?
epic.
Did you see it got 10,000 votes?
I did. Yeah. Yeah. There's.
So now now it's up to Lego.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's so many things they could make. I
Yeah.
mean, you could pump out I don't know how many sets a year, and people would still buy them. I mean,
You could. I'm like, what are you holding back on? We're not going to stop buying Legos. Like,
no, that's the bad things.
yeah.
um, all right, so obviously, so you said the whole family isn't involved. Now, do you guys do any sort of like collaborative building, like where you build as a family or anything like that, or like maybe build at the same
Yeah.
time, or is it kind of just
I think it's mostly building at the same time. If
yeah,
I'm not like helping my 5-year-old build a set, it's usually all three of us will be working on something different. So my
sure,
husband will be working on a mock set. I'll be putting a set back together that I like
okay.
took apart or something like that. And then you have my 5-year-old. My 2-year-old, he'll play with Duplos. He's not quite into Lego yet. He
Yeah,
sometimes smash them.
yeah,
Uh, but my 5-year-old, like if I say like, hey, do you want to work on this set and I'll work on this set, that's we like doing it at the same time.
yeah,
So
yep.
yeah, sometimes we
Um,
don't end up watching the movie because we turn on something and we're like, this isn't really that great, and then I turn around and all the guys are working on
yeah.
Legos behind me. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So,
You know what you guys should try? You should try. I'm trying to do this. Actually, introduce it into an adult Lego group at my church.
yeah,
A swap it challenge where you
okay,
guys come up with a theme
okay,
for a build. So if your 2-year-old's not interested, then your husband, and your 5-year-old. So you think of
right,
a theme, you get your bulk bricks, and you start building it, and then set a timer for like 10 minutes. And then
okay,
when that timer's up, you all have to switch your builds and then start so you'll build off the other person's
ooh,
build.
yeah,
So I want to do that with like adults because I think it would be really cool to see like how those builds progress.
yeah.
And so that's for a family activity, it'd be interesting to see what you guys came up with.
That sounds actually pretty
So,
fun. I would actually do that as a family activity. We have so much bulk now because I bought just bulk off market for
do
stuff.
you do
Yeah.
you have a lot of bulk?
Yeah, that is way too much for my child to have. And I was like, it's not for my child, it's for my husband. But I'm like, this is
Uh,
gonna allow us to get a whole lot more creative. Because
yeah,
my hard thing, my problem is if I have a set, I don't want to take that apart and use that set, the pieces for bulk. That is a set. Don't
that's
touch it. I want it
taboo.
complete. Yeah. And so I want pieces that I have no idea what they go to.
Yeah,
Those you can use. And I like when my son's friends come over there, they know we have a Lego room. They're like, can we play with Lego? And I'm like, yes. And I just bring out a bucket
yeah,
of, just blocks. I'm like, yep, go ahead.
yeah.
But you're not touching any of the sets in
Yep.
here.
No, I agree. Do you by any chance have the Lego Ideas Treehouse?
I do.
So, question that's been coming up a lot lately. When you bought the treehouse, did you have the intention that you were going to change the leaves every season?
Not at all.
No.
And to be honest, Keith, it's sitting in our closet. It's in the backlog. I haven't even put it together, but I knew for sure when I saw that on the box, I was like, oh, they're crazy. I will never be changing the leaves every season. This
Yeah.
will either be a green tree or a brown tree all year
You know,
long.
you are the first person that has said that. Everybody I've talked to and asked that question, we all had the same thought that we would change the leaves.
Yeah,
But as a purist,
yeah,
like I would have to go on those instructions, and each leaf would have to be every single way it's supposed to be because it's a set.
yes,
A
yeah,
designer spent their time making that set, so
yeah.
you have to follow it.
Okay.
So
I feel like I'm a purist too.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely
yeah.
inventory. So
So
yeah,
uh, you
that
know,
that closet's getting a little too full. I was like, I always tell myself, okay, until I start a couple more sets, get them put together, I'm not going to buy any, and that never happens. I always buy more.
that means you need to get building more.
I know, and that is so true. I was talking to my husband about it. I'm like, I need to build more. I
Yes.
need to stop focusing so much on old sets and making sure they're all. I mean, I want to make sure they're all complete, but it's like, no, I've got quite a backlog. So yeah, I need to
Well,
get building.
who needs to work when we could all just stay home and build Lego?
I wish, right?
That would be the dream. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, you did tell me that you are kind of working on a mock right now, right? On
Yeah.
Studio,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
So, are you interested in sharing
Oh
what
yeah.
you're doing? Okay. So,
Yeah.
you want to share what you're
Um,
doing?
so we saw the Lego Ideas Challenge
Yep.
to build a 90s
Okay.
set. And originally they were like, and I swear it said by January 18th, you have to have this
Okay.
submitted. And so I told my husband by January 15th, we better have this done because I knew it would take a couple extra days.
Yeah, sure.
So we work on it, and we get to the 17th to submit it. And it's like, it is not due till February 5th or 7th or something like that.
Oh,
And I was
okay.
like, what the heck? So, anyways, we finished it. We did the Sandlot set.
Oh,
So,
sweet. Okay.
I've always wanted a Sandlot set. I have a list of Lego ideas that I
Yeah.
want to work on.
Okay.
And until now, I haven't even felt comfortable like building on my
Sure.
own. Like I used the studio rendering for this one, but like now that I know how to do it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can take this out and I can build an apple
Yeah.
with this Lego, or I can build.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, I don't just need instructions, because that's me getting outside my comfort zone.
Yeah, sure.
But we did Sandlot, and we submitted it to the
Okay.
challenge, and there's like another month until they
Okay.
vote. Well, and you have to, so basically once they stop the entries, the Lego team will pick the ones that they like enough to continue to the voting round.
Okay.
So if they don't like Sandlot, then it doesn't continue. If they like
Yeah.
Sandlot, we're still competing with at least 50 to 80 other people.
Okay. Oh
So
man. Well, that's
kind
exciting.
of like, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I think it's we did the field with the treehouse,
Nice.
the dog,
Okay.
the fence.
That'll be
I maybe
cool.
my husband might be like, "Stop it! You're going to tell him everything." But you can see it on Lego Ideas, so it's not.
Yeah. Yep. No,
Um,
that's really cool.
But it has all 9 of the players, and I mean that to me that was a childhood memory watching Sandlot.
Yep.
And I was like, how has this not become a Lego set? Like, how is this not a Lego set? Like, I love Steven Spielberg, and I have all of his, Jurassic Park, all that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, we gotta get some good movie sets out here.
We also there are how many '90s TV shows? Boy Meets World.
No, nobody's done that yet. You're right. Nobody's done that.
Matt and I were just talking about this the other day. You have a facade of the Matthews house, a facade of
Yes.
Feeney's house. You have the fence, and then you have the Feeney with a sound brick saying, or with Eric saying, "Feeney."
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just like, how do you not have, and like Sabrina, Family Matters? I mean, with Urkel, I mean, there's just like so much stuff you could have, and
Stop giving
there's nothing.
me all these ideas. I mean, I'll probably go get started up now.
I would love,
but yeah,
to see. Yeah,
same thing. I have a lot. Well, like somebody's already done this, and I hope that if it doesn't win the challenge, they submit it as an idea. But it's the mutton cuts from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I'm like, it's on my list to build, and now I'm like, well, I don't think I need to do it anymore because somebody's already submitted. But I'm just like, there's all these fun scenes that I'm like, we so many of the times just think of Star Wars because they make so many sets, or Harry Potter as like the continuous movie sets.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, let's just have a theme of movies.
I agree.
I'm just
I agree completely.
We have
a billion
parts.
So I'm glad you brought that up because we're going to give your husband a couple minutes here. So, on your Instagram account, I don't know how I didn't see this prior. There is a link to Lego Ideas.
Yeah.
And we click on that and we get to the Excite Bike 40th anniversary. And I believe this is his creation here, correct?
Oh, it's totally his creation from scratch. Yeah.
Okay. This is impressive. My son, he's 7. I always do my little notes before I come on. And when I saw this, I was like, I didn't see this before. So I clicked on it, and we were watching like the little pictures and the YouTube thing. And my son's sitting there staring at the screen. He's like, "This is so cool." I was just like, and then he's like, "It's got 1,628 supporters, and it still has 350 days left." And I was like, he says, "Please vote on it." So we did, obviously.
Yeah, you're awesome.
But yeah, this is really cool. I like it a lot.
Thank you. He is super smart. I think I said he's an engineer, and he's the kind of person, he'll create anything in 2 seconds. He doesn't need
Yeah.
instructions, and I mean, he can make it out of any piece, any
Yeah,
color. But
that's
it's
crazy.
the hardest part. Is like we've gone to a lot of what are they called? Just Lego conventions.
Yeah.
And are you coming in with it?
I mean, if they
Oh,
want.
Oh, if you want to
yeah, of
see it,
course. Yeah,
okay, great.
for sure.
Yeah.
So, sorry, we're not taking away from your
Oh, Keith,
spotlight.
Keith, Keith. I am like, I'm his #1 supporter, so I want it on here. So
Let's see this bad. Oh, here it is. Oh my god. Oh, that's big too. Holy cow.
It's big. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of ways.
he's trying to think of ways to make it smaller because we're like, we can't afford this set if it comes out.
Yeah.
So we need,
I don't. Yeah, but see, that's what's so nice about it. Like, it is a legit size. Like, I like that a lot.
right. And that's his biggest thing is like he has some more. He's working on different arcade things.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, that's the hard part is just getting it to get the votes.
Yeah.
So we've been to those conventions,
Yep.
and same as your son, we have a bunch of kids come up and they're like, "Can I buy this?" And we're like, "No, it's not a set."
Yep.
And like, if we gave you the pieces to it, it'd be very expensive. So no. But they just are so excited because it moves.
Yeah.
They don't even know what Excite Bike is sometimes. Some kids do. They're like,
Yep.
"My dad just showed it to me on the Switch," stuff like that. And they're so excited about it. But it's like, yeah, we'd love it to become a set, but it's very tricky. Thanks, Brickhead Brad, to get the votes.
Yeah.
Some just I heard Twilight. I guess my husband was telling me like in a day that like 10,000 votes, and I'm like, what? Like, I don't wrong. Twilight's cool.
Yeah,
but,
that's a sore subject for me, but we'll leave it out of this.
Yeah. People are like, "Don't you want it?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't think I voted for it, but I kind of want it. We'll see." I might be on that bandwagon. I mean, I was 13, 14 once, and I love the books and the movies.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay, he's gonna plug it in so
Okay.
we can.
You know what? If you guys, if you have an extra minute and you want to put that Lego Ideas into a QR code, if you want to share it and send it to me, I'd be more than happy to carry it around with me when I'm going places
you're
too. So
awesome.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Send that over to me in my message, and then
send that to you. Yeah, we've got our plaque already for our events and stuff like that.
Yeah, send it over.
I'll move this over here to him. You can pull the table if you want. He's gonna plug it in because I saw Brickhead Brad make it move, and I was like, "Oh, he is."
Yeah, make it move.
He's behind he's doing all the plug-in work, but no, we're super excited about this. If we can, he's like 15% of the way, and if we can get to 10,000 votes, then it could become a Lego set, and that's the goal.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, this is so cool.
So here, I'll do it over here so you're not blocking, but.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like kids would just like do flips and go forward and backward and up at the really top has the little.
Oh, that's cool. Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how long did that take to design?
How many hours?
Oh,
you said it the other day, but I forgot.
I couldn't even count them.
Yeah.
I made a working prototype in a few hours, but honestly, polishing up the design's taken about a year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's definitely taken a lot of hours, but totally worth it. I mean, even even if we only ever own the one set that you made, like it's really me.
Yep.
So
yeah. No, I agree. But
yeah, so I'm your #1 supporter, dude. Like, I want this to go as far as it possibly can.
Yeah. No, I for sure. Well, that's what's nice here. So obviously, this will be saved and recorded on both of our pages. So this will be on here.
I mean, you're nice.
Yeah. And so anybody that's in here watching, if you don't mind going to Lego Ideas and I don't. Can you? Yeah, I guess you can search. Find ideas. So you would search.
Excite Bike. Yeah.
It should bring it up. Yep. Okay. So go on Lego Idea or ideas.lego.com and you'll search Excite Bike. I guess you can throw in the 40th anniversary and that'll take you to it. Support it. Let's get it to 10,000. So
you're awesome. Yeah. I mean, that's the hard part is the weight.
Yeah, I get it.
And it could not make it. Like I'm always like, it's gonna make it. But you're like, oh man, okay, we got a whole year to get to the next. It's like the 5,000. I think you get to 5,000, then you have another year to get to 10,000, and you're like. And he said he talked to an owner of a Lego store in Southeast Idaho, and he's like, I threw a Lego idea up there, a DNA molecule, and he goes, and I never once, what is it called, like advertised for it.
Sure.
I never promoted it. and it never got there. It was like maybe
Okay.
$100.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so for my husband, we're both
Yep.
working, trying to get it out there. So,
Sure. Yeah.
anyways,
Well, hey, look at it this way. If for some reason it doesn't, he can just swap the bikes out with the Cullens, and I'm sure it'll go in like an hour. So
we could just put them on that magic carpet. You know, in
yeah,
the movie when they're like walking across the grass somehow. Let's do that. I might just have him do that for fun. Now that you
yeah,
say that, I literally just want to make a reel about that. Like, let's just get the Laurent, that vampire,
yep.
and the other two bad vampires, and we'll just have them like go across the field like they look like they're walking
Don't
across the
don't
grass.
forget about me when you guys are famous with your
Oh my gosh.
Twilight.
But that's such a good idea. I'm like, okay, come like right after this call's over. I'm like, all right, let's go
Yeah,
create some,
yeah.
please, right now.
Hey. Well, thank you guys for sharing that. I appreciate it, and for everybody else getting to see that live, because seeing stuff in on a website is it is what it is, but actually
Yeah,
getting to see it in person, that's awesome too. So again, if you just joined in on this, if you go to ideas.lego.com, search Excite Bike 40th anniversary,
yeah.
you will get to see Mackenzie's husband,
Dave.
Dave, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
designed.
He
Oh,
just
good.
put the link in the he put the link in the chat. I was like, oh, that's so
Okay.
cute. He's like, I'll put the link in the chat.
Um, yeah, so search that, support it. It's free to support it. It doesn't cost you a penny. You just click the button and you're giving them a vote. So
Yeah.
definitely do that, and hopefully we can get them to 10,000. Um, all right, so back to you here for our final. I told you this was going to go fast.
It
So
does go it does go fast. They always go so fast. I'm like,
yep,
what?
I know. I always get so worried. I'm just like, I hope I have enough to ask, and things just kind of like
It
they
just
just they
flows.
just play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's actually get into your social media.
Yeah.
So is Instagram your only platform that you tend to
Um
use, or do you use anything else?
I do post to YouTube, but there's absolutely like no views on there. Maybe one has like 46 views. A couple
Okay.
every time I post I get one comment at least.
Okay.
Um, and it's usually a nice person. They're like, "Oh, this is cool."
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, I don't know the algorithm for YouTube. I mostly just post it there in case anything ever catches.
Sure.
A friend told me, "Hey, you got to do TikTok. That's where it's at." And so everything I post to Instagram, I post to TikTok.
Okay.
But TikTok is supposed to be banned this Sunday.
Yep.
So
We'll
we'll I'm like
see.
glad I
Yeah.
didn't put all my eggs in that
Yeah.
basket.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
I'm just heavily tied to Instagram. That's where I started, and
Mm.
I was like, this is where I want to be. I
Yep.
was like, I like Instagram.
Yep.
I
I
had
agree.
never actually really. I didn't have a TikTok account before, so
Yeah, that's how I was too. I got TikTok because I used that CapCut program, the
yeah,
free version, and
yeah,
like it asked me or wanted me to upload the TikTok. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here, but if it's free, I'll upload the TikTok. So
yeah,
that's just what I did.
yeah. So
Um,
I just use Instagram, and I like it. I actually like the editing software too. It's pretty
yeah,
easy to make
yeah,
reels and stuff like
yep,
that. So I don't have my computer and whatnot. So
yep, I agree. So when you started your Instagram account, did you
yeah.
have any sort of vision, or were you just kind of like, let's just post
I
stuff?
think I was just like, let's just post stuff.
Okay.
I honestly, I looked at my husband and I was like, I'm gonna start a Lego account. I have a vision for something I want to do in the future, but I haven't quite done it yet. So I don't want to share it because
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a part of me is afraid somebody's gonna take that and go use it, and I'm like, no, like I've never seen anybody do this. I want to do it.
sure.
Um, and anyways, it's kind of going out and meeting more people and really getting to see who in your community is involved with Lego,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
then from there hopefully being able to travel and meet people who are not even in my city or state.
sure.
And it involves that, but that was my goal actually with making the Instagram for it. I was eventually going to take it to YouTube and have longer video clips
Okay.
because on Instagram you can't have
Yeah, yeah,
too long of video. So what I
yep,
would do is I'd post a snippet on Instagram, and then people could go to YouTube and watch
sure.
like an episode of something that I do. I
Okay.
didn't want to just do reels, but then as I got into it, I think my original tagline was like Lego reviews, Lego unboxing, and I was like, no, everybody
Yeah.
does that. I still
Yeah.
do reviews, and you
Yeah.
still see cutting open boxes, but I was like, no, I think I want to be a little bit
Sure.
different. So I think I do
Yeah.
everything. I'm not really tied to one thing on Instagram.
Yep. Well, and that keeps you interesting because then people don't know what to expect.
Yeah, people never know.
Now, uh, now I'm gonna flip my questions here because I have two questions tied to Instagram. So we're gonna start with the funnier one first. What would you say some of your more unforgettable moments would be so far?
uh, okay, unforgettable moments. Well, I mean,
Oh,
you're probably like thinking about the washing the Lego video, right? That, I mean, it's unforgettable because it's still getting comments. I think
yeah.
it has 6,000 comments and over like 300,000, likes and over 62 million views. And I'm like, why is this the one? We talked about this, like the whole algorithm. It's like, okay, I
Yep.
posted a really, really funny one the other day, like 1 like, right?
Yep.
And then I post this one about cleaning bricks, and it's people from Russia, Asia, like, you're so dumb, or you're so smart, or you must be a stay-at-home mom. So it's unforgettable because I'm like, it's literally taking all the time. I'm like, this
Yep.
post, this is the one that
Yep.
that people are really into, and I'm like, wow. And so it's funny when it gets like reposted or like remixed. I
Uh,
watched
oh,
remixes.
I have
It's
not.
usually in a different language. Dave and I are like, so are they happy, or are they
Yeah.
like trash talking me and saying, this is a white lady from America and she is wasting so much water and time and blah, 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 blah. So
Uh, you
definitely
know,
that video.
you know, I think, and I hate to be this kind of person, but I'm not gonna lie. I feel like videos or things that have negativity to
Yeah.
them, like be it comments or anything like that, they take off.
Yeah.
The wholehearted ones or the, things that are actually meaningful, swipe, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, oh, they're talking about their life or this, or
Yeah.
not important, but they're like, they're doing something I don't like. Or, well, look at these comments. It's like when they
Yep.
see, wait, this
Yep.
video has 6,000 comments. I have to go to that section and I
Exactly.
have to read. And
Exactly.
they're either really nice and they're like trying to defend me, or they're like, yeah, you are an idiot. And even in the different languages, it comes out so weird, but you're like, I don't think they like this.
Oh gosh.
So yeah,
Well,
that's my most unforgettable video, and probably always will be, because that one, just, you look at every other, you go into your insights and you look at every video and you're like, yeah, that's the one that has
that's
everything.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. So then on the flip side, what would you say some of the favorite parts of Instagram have been for you?
Oh, um, I think the support from different people in the Lego community.
Yep.
Like, it's a dog eat dog world. But on Instagram, you find people with those likes. Like, I have my own personal Instagram, and then I have my Lego Instagram, and that's
Mhm.
where I just focus on people who are into Lego.
Yeah.
Um, so it's awesome when you follow somebody. I remember when I first started, I posted a video, and Professor Brickman reposted it to his page,
Yep.
and I was like,
Yeah.
what? This is a guy who has almost 40,000 followers. And so I was like, thank you. And he's like, no problem. And I'm just like, oh, he's talking to me.
Yep.
I feel like if you were in any other world, the other part of the Instagram world where you talk to people who are big influencers,
Yep.
I've messaged before, never heard back.
Yep. Yeah, you're preaching.
So on here, people actually respond,
Yeah.
and they communicate.
Yep. No, I agree. I agree. No, it's as anything goes in life, you're always going to have your, no matter how hard we try, it's you're probably always going to have your little groups and
Yeah.
whatnot. But I think that's the goal, to try to bring the groups together. That's what we hope to do. So
Yeah.
you never know. You never
Yeah.
know. So
No, that's like, I'll say this, and like, I'm sure she gets shout outs a lot because she's super nice, but King Katie.
oh yeah. Yep.
I remember she posted about being in the land group last year, and I was like, and this was when I first started, so I had no even hope then of being part of land, but I just commented her on her post, and I was like, man, I wish I could be someday. And she commented back very quickly and was like, oh, I believe in you, or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
you could either just be really nice, but like, you're really nice anyways.
Sure.
I know
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
feel like.
Yep.
So I think the Lego community is pretty supportive.
I agree.
So I like that.
I agree.
Instagram.
Yep. All right. So before we wrap up, last question for you here. I know you mentioned a couple, but what would be your hopes for conventions to actually make it to this year, either displaying or just going to?
I actually would love to make it to Chicago. That would be awesome.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of any others that I know about. I know Wiley Bricks just put out a list of most of the national brick conventions
Yeah, okay. Yep.
here. And I'm like, we've been to 3 so far. Might go to the Mock Fest in Salt Lake
Okay.
in June. I don't know of, like, honestly, I've just been so focused on Chicago that I haven't thought of other ones. I don't know of any that are close to here. I know there's a couple in Texas. Okay, where
Oh
is
yeah,
Bricks
yeah.
Cascade? I know we've talked about, like, there's a ton in
Isn't
what is it, Canada?
Yeah, Cascade sounds familiar. I can't think of where that isn't there. Bricks Cascade. Is that the one? That's not the one in Colorado, is it?
Oh, I'm glad you said that. We may very well go to Colorado in April. They have brick slopes.
No, that's
And
what I'm thinking of. Brick
okay,
Slopes is Colorado. Where the
okay, yeah.
heck's is Bricks
So we might do brick
Cascade?
slopes because we did brick slopes in August in
Okay,
Salt Lake, and that one was one of the best events I've ever been to because it's
okay.
all
Oh,
it
Portland.
was.
That's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
Brickhead Brad, let me know when that one one in Portland is. I know there's a couple in Ohio, and we happen to have brick slopes. We happen to have family in Ohio,
Okay.
and so I'm like, man, if I could be there when it's going on in Columbus, if I could be visiting my family in Indiana
Yeah,
or
sure.
Columbus, then I'd really like to go to some over there.
Sure.
So
Yep.
I like to branch out, not just go to the ones that are close to
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
but really
Yep.
branch out. That would be fun.
So,
Okay, Portland.
for Dave here,
Yeah.
Brick World Chicago, you could take the QR code for the Lego Ideas.
And just put
Just saying.
that on the
Just
table.
saying.
Okay. May in Portland. Okay, not bad. Maybe
I'm
if I go,
trying.
they have a no. That I do. I've thought about that one a lot this year, so that would be really hope. I feel like it's so easy to get to
Yeah.
Chicago too. So I'm like,
Yep.
that's a big hope. Brick Fair, Chantilly.
Oh yeah. Yep.
If there's one in Seattle, they had one last year where I used to live, not
Oh,
far from that. Okay,
okay.
Omaha. Yeah, I'm like, I just need to look at these because if there's cheap flights, that's one of the
Sure.
biggest things. If I
Yeah.
see flights pop up to Chicago and it's like June, I'll be like, check,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's so many good ones, and whether my husband could display or not, we just love
Yeah,
Lego.
exactly.
So just going to be able to
Yep.
support other people, I
Yep.
love supporting other people.
Yep.
So
Nope, I agree. All right. So, since this is your spotlight, anything else you want to share or anything you want to plug? Anything
oh man,
else?
one thing I've been thinking about a lot lately is like a lot of times people, you never have to explain yourself to anybody because they
Yeah.
don't know you,
Yep. Yep.
especially on the internet. But a lot of people will be like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're so rich because you have Lego or blah blah blah." And it's like I don't think people understand that. One, I've been collecting since 1996, so a
Yep.
lot of the sets behind me, obviously these are newer. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
a lot of the sets behind me are from when I was a kid.
Okay.
And when I was a kid, I didn't get to get 3 sets a year or
Sure.
even one a month. It was like I asked for my birthday, I asked for Christmas, every holiday. I just wanted Lego. My parents knew that.
Yep.
They were so good about supporting my Lego habits. But yeah, this is like a collection over a lifetime, and it's hard for me to be patient because I'm like, ooh, I want the Titanic, and I'm like, which one do I want more, Rivendell or Titanic? And yes, Keith, I know you have both, but
I was
sometimes I'm like,
Rivendell.
okay, gotta pay the bill. But yeah, I tell people like, because I think often they think you always buy like 5 sets every time you go, and they're the biggest sets and things like that. I'm like, a lot of times it's just I save up and we splurge and get
Yeah.
this set.
Yeah.
Or I'm trying to think, we buy dills. I am a dill person.
Sure.
I love,
Yep.
and it doesn't have to be brand new either. There are many sets that I have bought where they were open sets, but they were like a guy would build them. It's like I have this source like a half an hour away. He somehow buys all the brand new big sets.
Okay.
And when he's done and he doesn't have room to store them anymore, I just buy them at a discount.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's like, it sounds like a drug dealer, but it's not. I just, meet him in the back alley. He hands me a box.
In the white van.
Yeah, in the white van. I hand him the cash. And so it's been fun. Honestly, that's one of the things when I started Instagram was like, oh, I want to show people that you can get deals. Yep. I mean, I am jealous of the people who post on the daily and they're like, I went to this old guy on Marketplace and he had Cloud City.
Oh God.
I know that one is going to hurt Matt Bricks. I didn't want to bring it up, but.
Mav loves his Boba Fett. He still cherishes that thing. So.
But anyway, so there's those sets. But yeah, I want people to know, like, you can find Lego deals, and sometimes you have to wait, and sometimes I don't get every set I want or right when I want it. But Lego is just fun, and I just think now I'm an adult. I'm like, I still love building Lego. It's just very therapeutic.
Yep. Well, you're in the same club as all of us.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm just going to put this out there one more time for anybody who joined us late. If you are not following Mackenzie, which I would assume you're coming because you're seeing the live either between the two of us. If you're coming from my end, go follow Mackenzie, American Bricker. Also, her husband Dave has a set on Lego Ideas right now. If you go to ideas.lego.com and search Excite Bike 40th anniversary, that set will come up. It's free to join Lego Ideas if you're not already on there. Hit the support button. He just needs to get to 10,000. So right now we're at 1,000. Let me just make sure nothing.
Like
Let me refresh
1624.
here. He is at 1,628 right now. So let's
That,
go.
that means we got 4 new today. Like,
Yes.
we've been
So
watching it.
let's get that up there. Yeah, and like I said, send me that QR code, and then when I'm going around to these places as well, I actually have International Lego Day at our mall next week, and I'm setting up, so I can bring that QR code along with me. So
You're awesome, and I just want to say thanks to everybody who started following from the show, because I'm like, how awesome! Like, it's just like you
Yeah.
feel loved. You're like, oh, this is
Yep.
cool. So,
Yep. Well, I truly appreciate you taking time to stop by tonight. Also, I've been liking to ask if you're interested. I'd love to check in to see where you guys are, not only you, but with the with your journey, but also with the Lego
yeah,
Ideas later down in the year, so we can check back in, like maybe after summer, see what's
absolutely,
going on. So
yeah.
awesome. Okay. All right. Well, like I said, I will. Uh, get this posted. I'll send you the collab invite so it can get shared in between both of us. And then, yeah, get me that QR code so I can try to help you guys
Oh,
out.
I can do that for sure. So,
Perfect. All right. Well, hey, thank you again. Thank you to everybody that stayed here tonight or joined us tonight. Appreciate it. If you missed anything, this will get posted to both of our pages. You can go watch anything that you missed. And then I have, if you don't mind, Mackenzie, I'm just going to
yeah,
get my next one out here.
you're fine.
Where am I? I am Tuesday. So that's the 21st. 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So a little out of the norm, but I'm accommodating an overseas schedule. So that's the next Bricks and Beyond Tuesday, January 21st, 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So,
Hey, 3 o'clock might
all right,
work well for me.
sweet. All right. All right. Well, Mackenzie, thank you. Everybody in the chat, thank you for stopping by.
Thanks,
I
Steve.
will look forward to seeing you later in the summer. Or
Okay,
maybe
everybody.
Brick World. Brick World.
Okay.
That's it. We'll see you at Brick
Yes.
World.
Yes. Yeah. Just say a prayer, okay? And
Exactly.
Okay.
Dave, we're going to Brick World.
We're going to Brick World.
All right. See you guys. All right. Bye.